Hello everyone, welcome back to Let's Play Talisman as the Warrior. And things are going noticeably better than they did as the Priest. In the first episode we had a pretty rough run, to be fair. We had a string of unlucky incidents, plus a couple of bad decisions that I have to take the blame for, really. But in the second episode, things started to look up a bit. We got our rune sword back from the wizard. We got a good follower in the form of the unicorn. It looks like we've actually lost the follower. Oh, I guess we lost the follower when we picked up the hag. But, you know, we did at least find a good follower for a while. We managed to mug the priest to get his wand off him, so we'll permanently have a spell now. At least for as long as we have the wand in our grasp. We also got a stat upgrade from killing a couple of enemies, so things were starting to look up a little bit. We're still on a quest to try and find a mule to overcome that accursed 4-object limit on our inventory. We have a spell at the moment, which is Temporal Warp, and as you can see what that does is you cast it and then you can take 3 turns before the next player can take their turn. I don't feel like there's particularly a good strategic time to use this. The only one that occurs to me is if you're in the inner region, right here in the middle, and you're close to the Crown of Command, and you're worried that either someone is going to catch up with you, or that they might have a way to stop you getting there, like they might cast random on you or something, I don't know. So you get to take 3 turns through the inner region before anyone else can do anything to try and stop you. That seems like a strategic time to use this spell. But otherwise, just pottering around the outer and middle regions, I don't feel like there's a time that's actually better to use it. So frankly, I'm going to use it now and just take 3 turns. So let's do that, that's fine. Draw a spell to replace it, thanks to our wand. Alchemy, so that will actually help us to solve our gold problem. If we find an item that we don't want, we can just turn it into gold, and then we can try and land on the market to get a mule. Of course, at the moment, where's the market gone? Wasn't it up here? Did someone destroy it? That's weird. I didn't notice that happening. Well, in any case, that is very strange. Yeah, we still have all the items and things that we picked up. It didn't reset my progress or anything. That's extremely peculiar. I didn't notice what happened there. Oh well, in any case, I guess let's just press on. Enough analysis, let's play. So we've got 3 turns now, basically. So, that one has the Wraith on it with a craft of 5. Don't really want to fight that bastard. So we could go down here to the graveyard. If you recall, we were converted to being evil when we went to the Mystic, so we can actually pray if we go to the graveyard. Unfortunately, we'll also have to deal with the Ghost, who's craft 4. At least he's better than the Wraith on the other side, so let's try that. First, Psychic Combat. We only have craft of 3, but, you know, that is close enough to be able to beat him, of course. If he rolls a 1, we'll draw. Alright, so we have to lose a life here. I mean, we could use a fate point to re-roll, but they're actually not that easy to get back. So I'm going to leave it. I might save the fate point for a time when a player attacks me and might want to rob me of a valuable item. Unfortunately, that means we can't encounter the graveyard and pray there, because being defeated in a fight effectively ends your turn. So, our next turn comes up. 6, not bad. Don't want to go to the crags over there on the left. We could go to the ruins and brave the dragon. That's the alternative, basically. So we have a strength of 5 at the moment, and we have... That was the wrong thing. Here. We have a sword and a rune sword that will give us an effective combat strength of 7, equal to the dragon. So, let's give it a go. And hopefully then we'll be able to go through the magic portal. Alright, let's roll. 4 isn't brilliant. But he got a 3, we win. And because he's got a strength of 7, that means when we take him as a trophy, we'll immediately be able to trade him in. Well, perhaps not immediately, but very soon be able to trade him in for another strength gain, taking our strength to 6. Now, we don't have to go through the magic portal, but I'm going to try it and see what happens, because some of these will actually take us into the middle region. Let's roll and see what happens. 6! Plane of Peril? Plane of Peril? That's right in the inner region. Good grief. I don't want to go there. I'll trade my trophies for a strength gain. So that's good. And I think we've got one more turn. Yes. But because we're in the inner region, we can only press on through the inner region one space at a time, or we can step out onto the Portal of Power and draw a card. I don't want to go through the inner region because I don't have a talisman. So even if I could get through all these dangerous spaces, as soon as I get to here, the Valley of Fire, you must have a talisman to enter. And I don't, so I can't. So I'll step out here and draw a card. And we're going to draw a bandit, so we'll have another fight here. Strength 4, not too bad. Should be able to take it. Select the number of bandits to pay off. Fuck that. I'm going to fight him. Okay, let's roll. So we've got a 6. So basically, he's helpless against us here. In your face, bandit! If you're going to try and hold me up for cash, then at least make sure you're a stronger fighter than I am. So we'll just continue from there. And that is finally the end of our third turn. I don't feel like it was enormously beneficial to have 3 turns there, but it was nice just to rub it in the faces of the smug other characters. Apologies if you hear my chair creaking, by the way. Not a lot I can do about that, I'm afraid. Okay, so he's encountering the Wraith, which is okay. He can exercise that with no great difficulty, and he'll be able to draw a spell as a result. Nullify. That character must discard all of their spells. Who's he going to cast it on? The Wizard. Good call, because he has 2. But he will be able to redraw one straight away, because that is his power. Same as my wand, effectively. And the Wizard is casting random on the Troll. So the Troll loses a craft, which he really can't afford to spare. Poor guy. I feel like it's the physical brawlers against the sort of smug, crafty magic users in this particular game. Troll should be able to take the wolf without any difficulty. Even just rolling a 3, I think the wolf basically can't beat him. Yeah. So that's not a problem. And our turn next. But first, he's going to trade in his trophies for a strength gain. So the Troll is becoming ridiculously strong. But we're up next. So let's just roll and see what happens. 6. Okay. Well, we are in the middle region, which is nice. What's this space? Chasm. Roll 1 die for yourself and 1 for each follower. Incidentally, this is a good point. You remember we got the hag in the last episode, where you can't pick up any followers until you get rid of her, and the only way to get rid of her is going to the Mystic. There's also this. Or at least this is the way I always applied this rule in the board game. If you roll a die on here that kills off the hag, then you're free of her. It's her own fault for falling in a chasm. Tough shit, hag. But what have we got over here? If we go to the Oasis, we can, hopefully, visit the Hermit and get a talisman. I mean, I'm actually not really bothered about a talisman. I mean, I need one, yes. But, I don't know. I don't necessarily feel the best equipped person to try getting into the inner region at the moment. But we'll see. We'll see. And what happened when the Wizard landed on this was he rolled the die again. I don't know what happened there. So we might run into that glitch or bug again. But also the Wizard's gold was stolen by raiders and dropped at the Oasis. So we can pick that up as well, I believe. And there should be another card that we can draw. So let's go there. It seems like the place to be. So draw a card. Hobgoblin. So we encounter that before we encounter the Hermit. Strength 3 shouldn't be an issue, really, because we have 6 ourselves, plus 2 for our pair of swords. So we rolled a 3, and yeah, he's screwed, basically. So that's another one to add to our trophies, and now we can get a Talisman from the Hermit. Which does take us up to our object limit, irritatingly. Oh, apparently we can trade our trophies again. Really? Oh yeah, because we killed that bandit too, so we can actually gain another strength here. So now we've got a strength of 7 plus 2 from our swords, for a total of 9! Which puts us on the same level as the Sentinel. Yeah, so now we actually have a Talisman, so we can make a run for the Crown of Command, if we wish. I'm not necessarily convinced, but with 7 strength and 8 lives, it might be a good choice. I would like to get a mule before I go that far, but I don't know where to find one. We have 4 gold, which is more than enough to buy it, but where to get one from? Anyway, for now we'll have to end our turn. Who's up next? The wizard, of course. He's choosing to go to the desert. Why is he drawing a card? Okay, so that is clearly some kind of bug or glitch or error as well. Because you shouldn't draw a card on the desert. You should just lose a life. If my understanding of the desert space is correct. The priest has found the mercenary, who is actually a pretty good follower, but expensive. If you don't have any gold, he's basically useless. Okay, the priest has come here into the middle region as well, so it's all happening in the middle region. And he has sacrificed a follower to get a talisman from the Warlock's cave. So the priest might be trying to threaten us here. Troll is tackling the sentinel. So everyone's moving into the middle region here. And he beats the sentinel. Frankly, if anyone can, it's the troll. So, what to do? Let's have a look at the desert space. Lose 1 life, then draw 1 card. Okay. In the 2nd edition of Talisman, which is the physical board game that I own, the only effect the desert has is you lose a life. You don't draw a card on it. So clearly that's changed in subsequent versions. Anyway, where we're trying to get to, basically, is Portal of Power. When we land on that, we can either try to bust the door open with strength. Well, yeah. Use strength to force it, or use craft to pick the lock. So obviously with quite low craft, it's going to be strength for us. I feel like since we have a talisman, we might as well try to get into the inner region here. Make a run for the Crown of Command. Let's give it a go. Roll 1 die. 6. So that actually will land us on the Portal of Power here. Let's have a go. But we do draw a card in the meantime. I think we try to move through the portal on our next turn. For now, we draw 1 adventure card. Giant, strength 6. Does have the ability to beat us, but hopefully we'll take it down. So let's have a roll. Ooh, 3 isn't great. Okay, so we've had a draw here. In a way, that has an advantage, because it means anyone who tries to follow me, like the priest, the one other character who has a talisman at the moment, will have to fight the giant, or find a way to evade it, in order to follow me into the inner region. But the important thing is we survived that encounter. So, I guess we just continue and end our turn. On the next turn, I guess we'll try to get through the portal into the inner region, but I do feel like our stats and our equipment, and particularly our followers, are probably not up to the level that we could really do with to feel confident going into the inner region here. I do feel quite nervous about it. Okay. Troll is going to tackle the Black Knight, where you can either give up a gold or lose a life. You can't even fight the Black Knight, he's that badass. Okay, so we can attempt to get through the portal. I believe. Although it wants us to roll a die, so I don't know. Yeah. So you could move around the outside, or we could just go in. Let's try going in. This could just result in our untimely demise, which would be extremely bad. Yeah, let's have a look at the other spaces we have to face. Roll 3 die and subtract your strength. 3 dice, rather, and subtract your strength. So strength is 7. So that actually would be rough. You know what? I don't feel like we have a good enough chance of getting through there. The priest might want to get into the inner region, but he'll have to fight the giant first, and then, frankly, he will have an even tougher time than we will getting through the inner region. And, frankly, even if he does get to the Crown of Command, we might be able to catch up with him and bump him off there. So I feel like it might be wiser to continue toddling around the outside for now. If we go to the runes, we draw a card, but any creatures we fight there add 2 to their attack roll. Hopefully it won't be a creature then. It's a ring, add 1 to your strength and 1 to your craft. So we'll have to discard another object in order to take that one. What other objects do we have? Oh. Alright. I'm going to take it. And I'm going to discard the talisman for now. Which might seem like an odd choice. But it does mean that as long as it's lying there, we can try to land on it again and pick it back up. If we feel up to tackling the inner region. But I just feel like we really didn't have high enough stats to have a decent chance of surviving through the inner region. But then, the same could have been said for the assassin in the previous run, and he actually got through. I mean, he did have good stats. But it could very easily have gone the other way, and yet he did get through. And we have 8 lives, so we could afford to lose some. Maybe that would have been better. Troll is going to have a go at us. He has 9 effective strength. He only rolled a 1, which is good. And we have 10 effective strength, so basically he can't beat us in this particular fight. He might reroll. No. We could take an object. Let's take a gold. I guess we could take one of his lives. What about the gold? It's not letting me select gold for some reason, so we're basically just going to take his life. Let's do that. Oh, because we had that selected already. Is that the issue? No, I just can't select gold for some reason. Whatever. Let's kill him. And he's going to roll on his armour. And yes, he didn't lose a life, which is irritating because it means we didn't absorb one from him through our rune sword. But never mind. Rolling a 1. So we could go into the chasm, where we'd have to roll to survive, or we can go to the cursed glade, wherein objects and magic objects don't have any effect, which is rough. Let's draw a card. Lemure. Okay, so we're going to have to fight him, but at least he only has craft 1. So we should be able to beat him just with our basic craft here. So we've got a 7 total. Oh, he's also got a 7 total. At least that's a draw, though. We didn't lose a life. So that's something. We do seem to be drawing quite a lot, though, in battles that really we should be winning. Okay, what's he going to do? Draw a card. Fight a goblin. He can take it. He has plenty of strength to go around. I would like, actually, to use my alchemy spell just to get rid of it, but at present I don't have an item that I want to offload in that way. Okay, Wizard's got a talisman. That's more of a worry. Now that he has a talisman, he can make a run for the inner region and might actually get to the Crown of Command, so I might have to rethink my decision not to go in there. It might be worth trying it just to prevent the wizard. Because he has very good stats. He has better stats than we do. And he also has a fairly healthy stock of lives. I'd still like to get that mule before we push into the inner region, but I don't see an easy way to get one. The market seems to have disappeared. You'll probably know more than I do about why that's happened, because you can go back and rewatch it. Okay, he's tackling me again. You know, I'm actually going to use my fate point to re-roll that. Yeah. Because I don't want to lose a life. My number of lives is one of the things I have going for me going into the inner region. So let's hopefully take a life from him. Yep, his armor didn't save him this time. He used the fate point to re-roll. It still didn't save him, which means our rune sword should absorb a life from him. It did not. Okay, so presumably another glitch there, I guess? Yeah. When you use the rune sword in battle to defeat an enemy or another character and cause him to lose a life, you gain 1 life. So yeah, we should have gone up to 9 there, but we didn't, so... yeah, possibly a glitch. Okay, 4. So, we can go back to the portal. Let's do it. Let's live dangerously. We'll have to take on the giant, which is a pain in the arse. But we rolled a 6. So he just can't beat us here. So take him down, which is fine. We don't quite have enough to trade for another strength point, which is a shame, but never mind. So next turn we'll go into the inner region, or we'll try to. We'll have to bust through the portal, which will not be easy, necessarily. I'll have a look in a moment at exactly what we have to do to achieve that. I feel like the priest is basically in last place here. I mean, the troll doesn't have a lot going for him, but he does have a hefty strength score. And he has that special ability, default ability, where if he rolls a 6, he can regain a life instead of moving. So I think he's in a better position than the priest is, but the priest does have a talisman. However, he seems to know he's not ready. He's gone back to the outer region here. The gnome follower is a good one. Helps you get into the inner region. I'll just show you that. You only need to roll 1 die when opening the Portal of Power by craft. And 2 dice in the mines, so he'll actually help you through the middle region as well. The inner region, rather. And he'll help you out in the cranks, and you can evade enemies and enemy characters or hostile characters in the hills. So he's a damn good follower. We don't have any followers at the moment, which is inconvenient, but we're going to roll our die. And let's have a look at what we need to do to get through the portal. So, strength to force it would be the way. Roll 2 dice, and if the total is equal to or less than your chosen ability. So we'd have to roll 8 or less on 2 dice, which is... it's doable. Odds are in our favour, but it's certainly not a foregone conclusion. But let's give it a go, shall we? Use strength, and roll the dice. So we got a 7. So we successfully broke the Portal of Power open, though it will of course reseal behind us, being a magic door. I believe you can just move back out of the inner region if you get partway through and then think, no, this is way too tough. But I think you do have to successfully resolve your encounter on the space before you can move back. So anyway, Wizard's up next. He might want to try and come in here, I guess. Went for the Oasis instead. Okay, does he have a mule? I didn't notice him picking up a mule. Yes, he does. Maybe I'd just forgotten. So he can actually carry 8 objects, which is an issue. Like, I would like to be able to carry 8 so that I can have some armour or a helmet or something to help me out. And maybe some of the... Oh, shit, a brick. You're probably screaming this at me already, but I dropped my talisman, didn't I? There's no point in me going into the inner region. God damn it. I need that mule. Okay, so we're going to encounter a dragon here, and hopefully we're going to just beat the crap out of him. Oh, I dropped my talisman. Ugh. That was before, of course, the wizard got a talisman and became a genuine threat. If I'd known that was going to happen, I would have kept mine. Going to trade my dragon for a strength increase, then end my turn. So actually there's nothing I can do to race the wizard to the crown here, because I don't have a talisman to get there with. What I could do is attack the wizard and try to mug him for his talisman. But I have 4 objects already, so I'd have to get rid of one of my objects to be able to do so. I don't want to do that. God damn it, I need a mule. I would like to be able to attack the wizard and take one of his followers, because that would resolve this whole issue, but I can't. Go to the runes, draw a card. What about this place? Hidden Valley. I can encounter the fairy. I'm not a good character, so that wouldn't apply to me at all, but I will get to draw 2 other cards, so let's do that. Okay, draw 2. So, we've got an ogre, which we'll have to fight. The fairy will ignore us, and then the holy lance, which we can't take because we're evil. Add 1 to your strength in battle, and 3 to your strength in battle against dragons. Good item, but not really. Even if we could pick it up, it's not really that applicable to us, because we already have 2 other weapons. I don't feel like it would be that worth taking the lance. Anyway, first things first, we have to fight the ogre. Rolled a 6, so he doesn't stand a chance. He's buggered, basically. Buggered with our rune sword. So, yeah, I noticed that we're now up to 10 lives, so we have actually been gaining lives from these successful fights this time. Fairy will ignore us, and the lance will have to remain on the space. We can also now trade some more trophies for another strength gain. So both of these, and up we go to 10 strength plus the ones from our swords. So, now I guess all we can do is end our turn, but we really, really need a mule. I mean, you can just randomly draw them when you land on a space, but that doesn't seem to be what's happening here. Okay, wizard is attacking us. Not a bad move, he does have a lot of strength, but not up to our standards, so hopefully, yeah, we're just going to take him. What, did he win? Oh, I clearly wasn't paying enough attention to the rolls there. Did he take one of our items? He took our ring, which gave us a strength and craft bonus, which is annoying. But that does at least give us enough space to pick up the talisman again, if we can land on it. I mean, we need the strength and craft bonus, really, in order to get through the inner region. But I suppose that's at least taken a tough decision out of our hands. I wasn't sure whether to get rid of that item in favour of the talisman. And the wizard has decided that for us. But we'll see how my attempts to penetrate the inner region go on the next episode. That's it for today. Thanks for watching as always. Things are getting tense. They're hotting up a bit. So come back next time and see whether we push into the inner region or whether the wizard beats us to it. And whether we ever get that damn mule. Until then, bye for now.